nation! No donation, no salvation!
And remember, respect is everything.
We're back. Goodness, it has been too long. I've been wanting to do another one of these kinds of videos because this is how I started the channel. Because for those who don't know, the majority of my subscribers are usually here for this kind of content, which is the Lego Transformers stuff. And I love doing these. It's just, obviously, you know, times are tough right now. But I was able to slowly get a hold of some pieces to make some new figures. So I am happy about that. I also have one other new figure that we will be looking at soon. And then I also have a few older figures that I decided to go back and update because I wasn't happy with their original versions. But yes, today we are looking at the G1 Throttlebots. So the reason I chose to do the Throttlebots is because they're all pretty much identical, but I like the idea behind them. And there's enough variety here, so I figured I might as well, you know, do them anyway, because, we got trucks, we got a heavy work vehicle, we got some sports cars, and a nice little rally car. So let's not waste too much time, and let's get into, let's see, who do we start with? We'll start with Rollbar. So yes, Rollbar is modeled after some kind of older Jeep, probably a hardtop. I don't remember all the different models of Jeeps that existed in the 80s and 90s. Here is Rollbar in his Jeep mode. I had to go for a kind of desert tan because I didn't have the olive drab that he needed for his vehicle mode, like in the original toy, so it is what it is. I was going to pick up a set of G1 Throttlebots, but I decided not to because I had bigger plans in mind for that kind of money, and I mean, they're Throttlebots. They're not the most exciting thing in the world, so it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get to the transformation. Okay, so for Rollbar, he's actually the most different out of the lot. He's also got a little bit of a light bar and this extra lamp here. He's also got a little jerry can, so that's kind of cool. You can remove it if you want to, and then he has a back window there, but it is what it is. It's just something I threw in for fun. But yes, to transform him, go ahead and fold his tailpipes back. There's his head, as you can see. I had to disguise kind of like a luggage box of sorts. Then, go ahead and fold the arms out. If you're new here, my Transformers are very, very simplistic, which is kind of the point. They're more of an aesthetic rather than, I guess, proper figures, if that makes sense. They're all done in this sort of Mega Man kind of anime style, so it's just what I like. It is what it is. And why is this not folding down? I don't want to break that off. Start with this leg. There we go. That one's a little more cooperative. Yeah, I haven't done this in a while, as you can tell. Anyway, go ahead and... Alrighty, so there is Rollbar in his robot mode. So there's Rollbar. I did actually remember to make them weapons. And by making them weapons, I mean I just made a whole bunch of random ones, and then I decided to just stick them on like this. So yeah, a lot of my transform... Oh, that's very loose. There you go. Okay, whatever. We got it to work one way or another. Yeah, I couldn't use ball joints for his elbows because I ran out. Next, we are going to look at... let's go and put these guns to the side. So let's look at Freeway here. Freeway is modeled after a mid-80s Corvette, probably an 84. Rough estimate. Any General Corvette made in the 1980s by General Motors, or to be specific, Chevrolet. I really like, older Corvettes because of the cool pop-up headlights, so I tried to replicate that effect here. So, obviously, I mean, he was actually the first one I built, so if you know me, I love 80s sports cars. I mean, I literally tracked down an old third-party wind charger just because of that. And this is probably the best representation I've ever seen of an 80s Firebird. And ironically, it's done by a third-party company somewhere in China. And that's usually what would happen, because the pop-up headlights would break half the time. Anyway, irrelevant. So yeah, fold his legs down. Go ahead and rotate his head up. Pull the arms out. You can rotate them out a little bit if you want to do that. Rotate his head forward. So I didn't really have many pictures to go off of. I mean, I could have looked at the actual Headmasters cartoon or the really, really late seasons of G1, but I decided to just go based off their G1 box art instead, just because it felt like the easier thing to do. Anyway, there is Freeway. Next, we will look at Searchlight. So yes, here's Searchlight. Searchlight apparently in G1 was modeled after a Ford RS200. So if you're not familiar with that car, it's a very popular rally car. It has appeared on a lot of video games and media over the years. So this one clearly has been decked out with rally lights and custom two-tone in the front there. So yep, I did the best I could with that. I gave it a little roof spoiler because I think the original car had that. Anyway, let's get to transformation. So yeah, they're all pretty much the same, which is technically accurate to the original toy, or toys, because, you know, they were basically a gimmick back in the 80s. Anyway, next we are going to look at Chase. Now Chase here, he's probably my favorite. He's my favorite because he's based on a Ferrari Testarossa, which was very popular in the TV show Miami Vice. Only his was white, but, you know, I personally prefer them in black, but, hey, a Ferrari Testarossa is a Ferrari Testarossa. They had pop-up headlights, they were slick, they were fast. I mean, by today's standards, they're nothing special, they're just, you know, generic 80s sports car, but I thought they were awesome, especially since, you know, I really like Miami Vice. But, anyway, let's go ahead and transform him. Turn the head around. Alright, get his little hands out. Fold his feet down. Spread his legs apart. And we should be good. I heard something pop. I don't know if something fell out or if that was just a noise. Alright, so there's Chase. I tried to make him look like his headlights were popped up because the old school Ferraris had pop-up headlights, or just any sports car from that era, really. Pop-up headlights have been around for a long time. It's a shame they don't make them like that anymore, but it is what it is. Next, we got Wide Load, who is some kind of orange dump truck. And I'm not going to lie, he looks like a G2 Constructicon, but you know what? That's okay, because he's an Autobot, which is fine by me. Now, his transformation is actually a little different. Because his is actually almost a little more reminiscent of the actual toys, but that's because the actual dump truck is kind of what made this more difficult than it needed to be, so I had to substitute a lot of the colors for the closest things to orange, since orange is not an easy color to get a hold of in LEGO. There actually is a tiger set, as in like the actual animal, made in the Creator line. I may have to pick up one of those to get a bunch of orange parts. So that might be an option. So yeah, his transformation... Oh, almost forgot. Gotta clip that back there. So yes, his transformation is a little more involved, but that's also because he's a very different style of vehicle. And, yeah, I really like him. I'm sorry that these videos took too long to get out, and I'm sorry if I'm stuttering a lot. It's just, I mean, life comes first, and I had to take care of a lot of things, and, good news is, I do have a bunch of videos planned, so stay tuned for that. But until next time, you all have a good one.
Hallelujah! Another soul saved!